Welcome to another early U.S. jet that appears to have kind of a bad rap to it, like the P-80 and F-80. The F84B, which you're going to see me here for a minute, try to take off. I've actually edited out. To take this plane off on this runway, you actually have to raise your flaps, hold down the brake, apply power, and wait for a good half a minute or so to take off, because you'll never make it if you don't. You have to run with the minimum fuel, and you have to run with no other armament installed in this plane. And you'll see I'll probably be a very sketchy takeoff here in a minute. I did late join into this game, so the late join plus the wait to take off, I'm already behind my teammates. Oh god, that's kind of wobbly. Maybe I shouldn't have raised flaps there, but alright, so we're taking off. That's all good. Put nose down. The F84B in real life was actually, you could say it was kind of an underwhelming, underpowered airplane. The F84 became a very good airplane in its later variants, but I think that's going to pass the War Thunder cutoff. So this plane is, how do you use it? It does have some strengths, and it has quite a few weaknesses, I guess I'm trying to say. And one of those is that, like I said, you saw the takeoff, and it's actually pretty slow when you first get up. I have a meteor coming right at me. This is kind of cool. Right after I take off, there's a meteor coming right down the thing. I have no airspeed to really dodge this, so I'm just going to take the head-on. And look at those M3s just go to town. So, I'm always saying don't take head-ons, but yeah, this has turned into a nightmare already. 3 teammates are in, one's in Buffalo, one's in a P-40, and I think one of them is something else. And I'm being attacked by a meteor right after takeoff, so I've officially just given up the old Let's Fly Smart handbook and throw it into the I'm going to be taking as many of you sons of bitches with me as possible. So they got both wings, but the wings actually don't seem to be too effective with the F-84. I haven't tried landing with 2 black wings, so I'm going to not try it in this game because I seem to be flying alright. But the F-84 is, like I said, it's pretty slow on the deck. It's actually slower than all the other American jets on the deck. But once you get at a higher altitude and when you dive, it actually picks up quite a bit of speed. I believe it goes up to 580 or 590 mph, whereas a normal FP80 will top out about 550. So it does have that advantage, and it's actually faster than most meteors in the dive for about 10 seconds, and then you lose your energy retention and you're back to being slow. So it is a challenge of a jet to use, and I find myself taking more head-ons simply because I can't catch the other jets in this game. Now this was supposed to be more of a fighter bomber, and it has all these awesome Tiny Tims, rockets, 500-pound bombs, 1,000-pound bombs, and so on. But you can't take off with them or else you're dead. You can't even put 10 more minutes of fuel in most maps on this plane, or you're dead. So right now it's a B-57 and my F-80 wingman versus the majority of their team still left. So like I said, we are officially back on the, let's just see if we can get some luck here in this game and make something happen. At this point in the day, I've lost 4 or 5 American matches to the British due to bad teams, and you know, you saw the scoreboard when I started. It doesn't help that I have P-40s and Buffaloes in my game instead of F-80s. So then you add the B-57 factor, and that's an unarmed plane that gets killed. So essentially I think we had 2 or 3, I'll have to pull up the scoreboard here in a minute, 2 or 3 actual real fighters in this game, while the British team is using a majority of meteors and maybe 1 or 2 Canberras. So I really wish that War Thunder would put in a mechanic so that if you're in a tier 1 plane, you can't join a tier 5 game. That seems pretty simple to me. There's a freaking Venom, and that thing is gonna mop the floor with me. Here comes a meteor. I'm not feeling pretty safe right now. So let's see. The Venom's on that. I hope that F-80 cannot run him. I'm gonna need him around. I actually really like this plane, and it was actually a good plane in real life. Oh shit, here comes a meteor. Anyway, the fire that shoots 30, it's like the original Tim Burton Batman movie where the fire shoots 20 feet on the back of the Batmobile. take the head on. It's a spray, 50 caliber APITs. It's gonna avoid the head on. So it's kind of weird. This plane's a little bit harder to aim. At least I haven't got used to it with the F80s and the P80s because the guns are a little bit lower in the nose and they shoot straight out. With this, the guns are like on top of the nose a bit, and it shoots higher than I'm used to. So it's another little oddity to the way this plane shoots. I've never actually had a problem with this in any other plane, but this one, it seems like I'm always overshooting what I'm shooting at, so that's why I just literally hose down targets. Here comes another meteor. We're just going to take head-ons because we have nothing to lose at this point. And, you know, spray and pray is kind of a dirty tactic, but in that case, I just got me another meteor, and the Venom crashed. This just completely turned around for me. This is pretty awesome. Now we have, I think, one bot, and hopefully he burns up. We gotta wait for him to burn up before I can claim victory. Oh shit, so a meteor just took down a B-57. I killed another meteor, so I've killed 2 meteors in my F-84 that should have won. Nice. Alright, let's see what else damage we can do. I'm half tempted to... I'm already at 12 minutes of fuel. 2 black wings. I burned up a majority of my ammo, and it'd be actually kind of nice to land and refuel and reload, but like I said, it's landing and then repairing, rearming, and then respawning, and then sitting there for another 30 seconds for this thing's engines to cool up, and another minute and a half to wait to get to any type of speed to be effective. I'm gonna just make this work. Positive energy, positive thoughts. There's a B-57 taking off. I'm going to go ahead and circle back and protect him. Or we can use him as bait. So I'm going to go for protecting him for now. I don't know. It was a plane I was excited that they added to War Thunder, and then I'm really trying to make it work. And you can see the guy, I'm just typing the chat. I can keep running, and that seems to be the thing in jet games when things don't go well for your team. There's people in certain planes that know that they cannot run you, and they'll just do it. That just prolongs things that don't need to be prolonged. B-57's taken off. Just stay around him. So that British team should have won this hands down. I mean, they had the Venom. They didn't have P-40s and Buffaloes. Meteor's actually a quite serviceable jet, and I just got lucky with 2 head-ons. I would like to do other tactics than head-ons with this plane, but when I'm facing other jets, it seems to be kind of the go-to thing. It's not awful. I don't think it's as bad as the rap gives it. Like, you can make it work. Where we go, churning. But it's not great either. It was ridiculous when they first added this thing, and it was at a higher battle rating, and I was trying to fight against MiG-15s. Yeah, that wasn't cool. At least at this battle rating, you know, it works. So he's... See, that's what I mean. Like, I had a fair amount of energy heading into that, and he's just leaving me. I need about another 100 miles an hour speed to catch him. So we'll just stay behind him. Like I said, this thing's not a pursuit aircraft. This thing was a... Can't keep stressing enough. Fighter bomber. And it can't bomb in this game. Let's keep flying. This is a custom skin I have on it too, so in case you're curious why the hell there's a dragon on the left side of the cockpit, I thought it was cool. You know, dragon shooting out red fire. Sorry. So this meter's just gonna run. I have 9.5 minutes of fuel. I'm just gonna have to make this work. That's kind of been the theme of this game, is just make it work. He just killed the B-57. There's no way I could have helped the B-57 because this is my 460 is about my top cruising speed. 460 MPH is around 740 kilometers, I believe. Little map, rough map in my head. So he's gonna drag me back towards his airfield, I suspect. He's got 2 on 1 here, so I think he actually has a pretty decent game going for himself, so he's going to try and win this. I'm not going to blame him for trying to do something to get the odds back in his favor. So I'm just going to keep chasing him. Not much I can do. Hopefully the F80 will get over there and try to cut him off from the backside. But like I said, the F84 is much better playing at a higher altitude. Unfortunately, I just never got the opportunity to do that in this game because the meteor was down my throat in 2.5 seconds. Can I land? Oh, yes you can. Yes, I would be okay with that. If he wants to walk away with his three kills and have a repaired plane, I'm okay with that. Jet games are expensive. Yeah, let's clarify he's going to land and quit. I'm not going to let him rearm, repair, and refuel. Alright, so let's see if he actually does this. I don't want to be surprised. So War Thunder today showed some screenshots of the F2H-2 Banshee, which is a McDonnell plane. I always say McDonnell Douglas because there's McDonnell Douglas all over my town here, but it's McDonnell. And I was kind of surprised to see it come out, I guess, so soon. There's other planes I thought or hoped that would come in the next patch, but it seems like this plane is moving quite along. I think there was about 700 to 800 of these things built, 1948 or 49 if I remember. And it was a fighter jet that took off aircraft carriers. That's about a ton of information I gave you. It was a high altitude bomber escort in Korea, I know that, and then the Marines used it, I believe, for ground attacking. And the problem is with the plane is that it's still a straight wing jet, so doesn't do that well at low altitude. And it's kind of the same story that it had with the Panther, you know. So I won't go too much into it now. Maybe we'll talk more about the Banshee at a later time. But I'm glad to see more of the Korea Navy jets be added in the game. A little bit of diversity for the U.S. so it's not just saber, saber, saber. But what the U.S. really needs for their tech tree is the Kuga. We need the Kuga, and not the one driving Mercedes-Benz to the mall. Alright, so I lost contact with this guy, so I'm just going to circle back. Hopefully he keeps his word. I don't need any shenanigans. No shenanigans. This is the game that I actually took off that I expected to lose in 3.5 minutes, and I'm actually still alive. Some 15 minutes into it. So let's see if I can get lucky. If this guy wants to walk away with a loss, give me a win, I'm not going to complain. Thank you, actually. Because this plane is barely holding up as it is. And I can't see him. So the F-80 just killed the bot. Vladimir is down. Vladimir, the Spitfire pilot. Sounds so weird. Vladimir, the Spitfire pilot. See, I'm getting a little bit higher here, and I'm probably, let me do a dive. Let me get up some good altitude, and I'll dive, and I'll show you this thing's top speed. Hopefully I can do some more content. Like I said, I can't really... This thing, if you... For War Thunder, has a shit ton of bomb and rocket configurations, but I can't use any of them. So that begs the question, like, okay, so... You know, since you weight down so it can't take off, do you give an air spawn? Well, no, because it's a fighter bomber, so you just gave this thing a free ticket to go attack other jets that just took off, right? Well, if you just add bombs to it, you know, so it's so people are using it as a bomber. Well, they're gonna, you know, if you put bombs on the plane, this will give it an air spot as a bomber. You just hit spacebar, drop the bombs, and you go attack anyway. So there's no way around that mechanic. So I don't know what you're really supposed to do with a jet like this in game. You know, and I think it's kind of a shame. That's what we're going to see with the Sky Raider and B-29s at this tier. Is like, what do you do with them? I mean, B-29 is going to be caught from you know, it's a balancing thing with B-29. Do you put it at 1944, 45, or do you put it later than that in kind of the battering system? So he did land, he did quit, so F84 win for me. Kind of happy about this one. And hope you enjoy it. If you want to see any more jets, I'm trying to do some more gameplay. But I'm trying to get back into Sabres, but the Canadair Sabre makes me cry and weep in the corners. But thanks for watching. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them.